The air on Authries Prime was thin, electric, and scented with metal. The sky rippled in violent violet hues, as though the planet itself was alive with some restless energy. I had landed for what I thought would be a routine salvage mission, a derelict mining station abandoned for decades, forgotten among the jagged cliffs and floating crystal spires that dotted the horizon. I didn't expect to find her. She appeared in the shadows of the skeletal station, limbs lithe, hair glinting like dark starlight. Her skin shimmered faintly, reflecting the glow of the planet's erratic auroras. She moved with grace, predator and guardian intertwined, eyes the color of molten gold. And when she spoke, it was not with words I knew, but with an urgency that pierced through every instinct in me. "Stop," she shouted. Her voice cracked like glass under pressure. "That's my blood, human. Stop drinking." I froze. There was no reasoning with her in that moment. The blood was warm, metallic, and irresistible. It pulsed across my senses like a calling I could not ignore. Every warning screamed in my head, but desire was louder. I drank. The first sip burned. Fire spread through my veins, a heat so alien it made me gasp, but my mouth still sought more. She struggled against me, limbs lashing, claws digging into my arms. Yet it was as if I were caught in gravity itself, the gravity of her life force pulling me inescapably toward her. And then everything changed. The mining station had been attuned before she found me, or rather, before I found her. The AI logs were fragmented, voices in the static recording events from decades ago. Miners trapped, succumbing one by one to some unknown affliction. The station abandoned before the truth emerged. Her blood was the truth. As it entered my system, my vision shifted. The colors of Authries Prime deepened. Violet became liquid and tangible. The jagged cliffs moved as if breathing, and the floating crystal spires sang in resonance with some hidden harmonic of the planet. Every nerve in my body tingled with heightened perception. I felt her fear, her pain, her ancient heritage flowing through me. You don't understand," she gasped, clutching my arms. "If you take too much, it will consume you." I shook my head, no longer certain of where I ended and where she began. The warmth of her blood and the raw energy of the planet intertwined inside me. Memories that were not mine flared. Centuries of her people, warriors, guardians, bound to the mineral veins of Authries Prime, tasked with preserving the balance of life and death here. The station's metal walls bent under unseen pressure. Crystalline formations erupted from floors and ceilings, winding around us, pulsating with every heartbeat of the planet and every thrum of the blood in my veins. I felt my mind expand, thoughts fracturing and merging with hers, time becoming a fluid river rather than a linear path. Her scream echoed through me, a warning and a lament. Yet I could not stop, not because of malice, but because the blood called to something buried deep in my own species, a hunger for connection, for transcendence, for power beyond mortality. Hours, it was a days, passed. Authries Prime changed around us. The station's broken machinery resurrected itself in twisted harmony with the crystalline growths. Gravity warped in pockets. We walked on walls, ceilings, and floors as if the very concept of up and down were meaningless. She tried to resist me, but resistance was futile. Every cell in my body had adapted to the alien energy coursing through me. I could feel the planet's intent, its subtle warnings, and its lethal punishments, but they no longer frightened me. I had become an extension of her power, and through her, a part of Authries Prime itself. At some point, she ceased struggling. Her golden eyes softened, not in surrender, but in recognition. "You're changed," she whispered. "Yes," I said, my voice layered with echoes that were hers and mine, resonating across the room. "And so are you. So are we." She placed a hand on my chest. I felt her pulse, and it was no longer separate from my own. I saw our lives entwined. Her people's centuries-long vigilance, my human fragility, and the fragile hope of survival fused into something neither species had ever known. Then the calamity came. From the depths of the station, the miner's affliction lingered in a sentient form, awakened by our merging. Dark, writhing tendrils of corrupted energy spilled from the shadows, seeking blood, life, and dominance. They surged toward us, and in that moment, I realized the true price of the blood. It was not merely power, it was responsibility. The scream returned, not hers, but mine. I roared, feeling every neuron ablaze. The alien energy inside me surged outward, forming shields, weapons, tendrils of force that ripped through the corruption. She joined, her hands tracing arcs in the air, drawing from the planet's resonance. Together, we became a single force, striking, repelling, and cleansing the station of the darkness. The tendrils writhed, shrieking with voices that were neither alive nor dead. And then they collapsed, consumed by the combined will of the blood-bonded. Silence returned, broken only by our synchronized breathing. The station was no longer a tomb. It was a cathedral of crystal and metal, alive with energy and possibility. Authry's Prime hummed beneath our feet, acknowledging the fusion of human and alien, guardian and intruder. She looked at me then, eyes filled with something unspoken, awe, fear, and perhaps recognition of equality. "Human," she said softly, "you survived. You did not just drink my blood. You became it. You became me. And you?" I asked. "I'm changed as well," she replied. "And so are we together." The storm outside the station had passed, but the planet itself seemed awake now, aware of our presence. I realized then that nothing would ever be the same. Not for us, not for Authry's Prime, and not for anyone who had mocked or doubted what we were capable of. The power flowed through me, not destructive, but transformative. I could feel her life entwined with mine, our consciousness overlapping, yet distinct. We had become the inheritors of Authry's Prime's energy, a new synthesis of human and alien, of predator and protector. As I stepped into the shattered corridor, the crystal spires resonated in harmony with our pulse. She followed, her steps echoing mine, a silent acknowledgement of our shared destiny. Outside, the horizon glimmered with the light of twin suns, the planet's fury now a tempered force, ready to reshape life around those bold enough to endure it. We had survived. We had changed. And the universe would remember that the day the human drank her blood, nothing would ever be the same.